Hello, what's going on? Rory here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to position yourself as an expert even if you're not, and I'm also going to be showing you how to never run out of content ideas. Now this is going to be specific to affiliate marketing, but you can definitely use all of these, what I'm about to teach you, for developing yourself as an expert, even if you're trying to sell your own products or services or whatever it might be. Now the key to success with affiliate marketing in particular is obviously, getting your affiliate link out in front of your target audience, getting the product that you're promoting out in front of the target audience. So you don't just want to be getting your affiliate link out in front of anybody and everybody, because, most of those people don't need this product. You need to be getting this product in front of the people who need it, the people who are looking for this thing to be able to overcome their challenges or get past or achieve their goals. But it does go a lot deeper than that. You don't just want you want more than just your target audience as well. You also want this target audience to actually buy this product. Yes, a big part of your success is getting your product in front of the target audience, but you still need to be able to convert that target audience into sales. And a big component of that, as I already discussed in a previous video, is you want traffic that converts, and in order to get traffic that converts, you need to take them through a process of getting to know, like, and trust you. And the big, positioning yourself as an expert and being perceived as an expert goes a long way to helping you achieve that, especially this trust component. I mean, if you look out and you think about some of the experts or the people that you look up to, you really trust them. You believe what they say. You have conviction in what they say, and you would go off their recommendations. You believe what they say, you trust what they say, you act on what they say, because they're perceived as an expert and they know what they're talking about. So if you can position yourself as someone who knows what you're talking about, and position yourself as an expert, it's going to be a lot easier for you to convert your target audience into actual sales. So that's what this video is all about. It's about, how can you do this for yourself? Now, when beginner affiliates get started, they're so focused on just getting their links, people clicking on their links, and they think that's going to automatically get them sales. But it just doesn't work like that. And usually the reason why they're doing it that way is because they're in desperation mode. They're so desperate to make money that they're just, they're not thinking about their target audience. They're thinking only about themselves. And I can attest that I was the same. When I first started looking into different ways of making money online, I was the same. I was only thinking about what I wanted and why I was doing it, so then I wasn't really dedicated to anything. I wasn't focused on a specific strategy or anything. I was just going out there in desperation mode, and because I was in that mode, I was jumping from one thing to another. I was never committing to anything. I was just making half-assed attempts at making following through with strategies and never really getting anywhere, never being consistent or anything like that. And really the reason why I did first get into looking for ways of making money online was basically because I was getting up in the morning. I was rushing to get ready and go to work. My daughter probably would only wake up with about half an hour before I had to go, but I didn't have any time to play with her, or I had a bit of time to play with her, but I could never really spend good quality time with her. And when I would say, I've got to go to work now, she'd be like, "Daddy, don't go," and there'd be like tears welling up in her eyes, and it just, my heart would cave in, and I'd just feel crushed. I didn't want to go to work because I wanted to be able to spend more time with my daughter, and it was killing me every morning having to get up and leave her. And then, when I'd get home at night, she'd been so exhausted by a day at daycare that, she was never in a really good mood. So then that made it really hard to actually connect and have a good time with her. And so when I first started getting started with looking at ways of making money online, that's really my focus was all about that. I wasn't focusing on other people. I wasn't focusing on my target audience. I wasn't focused on anything but myself. And because of that, I wasn't getting anywhere. And it wasn't until I came across my mentor and he helped to create the mindset shift inside of me that, this isn't about me. It's about target audience. If I truly want to turn this into a full-time online business, and the same for you, if you want to turn this into an actual full-time online business and you're not just doing this as something, to muck around with, then you need to make this about your target audience. You need to be solving their problems. If you're going out there and finding ways to solve their problems, it doesn't matter how much experience you've had in the industry. It doesn't matter how much other people think you know. If you're specifically giving them stuff that solves their problem, they're going to perceive you as an expert. So it's really important for you to make that shift, to get away from the desperation of it being all about you. And a lot of people, they go out and they say, I'm producing content and I'm providing value, but when you look at the value that they're providing, it's still more about them, and it's not truly giving the target audience value. So you really need to be looking into that. Now, in order to take your target audience through this process of getting to know, like, and trust you, in order to be able to position yourself as an expert, you need content. You need to be producing content. There's no other way about it. If you want to position yourself as an expert, if you want to take people through a process of getting to know, like, and trust you, and therefore be able to build a sustainable long-term business with affiliate marketing, you must be producing content. And it doesn't matter where you're producing this content, whether it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, Pinterest, it's going into forums. It doesn't matter what traffic strategy you use. It's ideal that you actually do some research and find out where your target audience is. And obviously, you might not feel uncomfortable about getting on videos, and so social media like Facebook might be better, or whatever it might be. But whatever you do, you need to be producing content. You need to be providing your target audience with valuable content that it helps them to get closer to achieving their goals, or helps them to get closer to overcoming their challenges. Because that's how you take them through that process of getting to know, like, and trust you. And if your content speaks directly to the problems that they're facing, they're more likely going to invest their time into actually going through it and giving, and through that, by targeting to their problem, you're giving them the chance to get to know, like, and trust you, because they're drawn to find out how they can actually solve that problem. So it has to be all about, you have to be creating content, and it has to be all about your target audience. It has to be out there actually giving them value that gets them steps closer to achieving their goals or overcoming their challenges. Now, the problem is, though, you're going to be starting out from scratch. You're not going to have any social proof. You're not going to have any followers or subscribers. So it's going to make it really awkward for you. It's going to make it feel like no one is listening. When you first start creating content, it's going to be like no one is listening to you. And it's going to feel like you're not going to be getting anywhere. You're going to think, what's the point of creating content? And you might also be thinking, there's other people out there who know more than I do, or are better at doing what I do. So how could I possibly be seen as an expert? Another thing you probably think is, how do I actually come up with consistent ideas of creating content? How am I going to post content after content every single week? How am I going to come up with the ideas for that? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to overcome all of those things. I'm going to be showing you, in this video, you're going to learn how to build your audience from scratch and have the confidence to go out there and do so, even when you start with no followers. I'm going to show you that it is possible to be seen as an expert no matter what level you're currently at. And I'm also going to be showing you how to never run out of content ideas, so you have an endless stream of new leads. I'm also going to show you, and that's also going to help you to get over the overwhelm and the frustration of actually going out there and trying to come up with new ideas to create content. Now, before I go any further, I do want to introduce you to this book, Expert Secrets. It's by Russell Brunson. If you've not heard of him, I definitely recommend you go and check him out. But firstly, I recommend you get this book because it's going to help you implement everything that I teach you in this video. Not only that, it's going to teach you the art of persuasion. So it's going to teach you how to use the right communication in your in all of the content that you produce, so that you're persuading your target audience to do the things that you want them to do, whether that is subscribing to your channel, or liking your video, or commenting on the video below, or opting into your landing page, or buying this product. Whatever you're wanting them to do, it's all about copy. It's about the words you use. It's about the way you connect to their emotions and everything like that. If you want to learn how to do that, then you definitely need this book, and you can get it for free. All you need to do is pay shipping. So I think it's about $7 or something just to have this book shipped out to you, and you're going to learn so much out of this book. I'm going to be teaching you some of the concepts out of here, and I'm going to be showing you how to position yourself as an expert. But this is going to be a 30-minute presentation or so. I cannot teach you nearly as much as what is in this book. Purchasing this book is like, you get more out of this book than what you would for a $1,000 course. So definitely check the description of this video and click the link, and you can go through and get this book for free plus shipping. All right, so when you're first starting out, you have to understand that, if you're first starting out, you're a beginner, and beginners have beginner experiences. Now, what a lot of beginners do, because they have these experiences, they let that define them as their success. They let these experiences that they have at the start, they define them as who they are. They let them pile up on top of them, and they end up giving up. Whereas, successful people, they see all of those challenges, all of those uncomfortable feelings, all of those times where things just didn't go right. They see those as opportunities to learn. They see them as stepping stones to getting to where they need to go. So, for example, like if you're out there creating content and you're thinking that no one's listening or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because when you're first starting to create content, you're not going to be as good as what you're going to be in a year. If you be consistent with it, you're going to be so much better in a year, but you have to start somewhere. And it's better to start when there's not many people listening to you than to try and build up an audience and then start trying to create content, but your content being rubbish because you didn't get the experience in the first place. You need to just go out there and get experience. You need to just go out there and take action. Use all of the uncomfortable things that happen to you in that process as things to learn from, stepping stones to actually get to you to where you want to go, rather than let those pile up on top of you and you end up giving up because you're not getting anywhere. So you can see here, you can either let these experiences define you and give up, or you can learn from your experiences and become the expert that you want to become. So what I'm going to be teaching you in this video is essentially the invest, learn, teach principle, which is taught by Ray Higdon. It's a concept that's probably been around for a long time. He just coined this specific phrase for it. But so essentially the principle is, first you start with investing. So investing your time and your energy into learning something. You have to be willing to invest your time and energy into learning whatever area that you're going into. You need to be learning everything you can within that topic, within that niche, so that it's the very first step. You have to be willing to give up your time. You have to be willing to make sacrifices with both your time, energy, and your money to do this. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. They don't really value the knowledge and the understanding. So I just want to explain this diagram here for you. So let's say you've got someone who's starting out on their journey to achieving some sort of goal, the result over here. Now there's a number of steps that they need to go through, but what I see is that there's a number of concepts, there's a number of different understandings and knowledge that they need to know in order to be able to go through the practical steps of what they need to do to get to their results. So you have practical steps. So there's things, say for example, you know, if it's relating to the health and fitness niche, you know, they have to eat a healthy diet, and they need to put steps in place to be able to do that. They need to exercise regularly. They need to put steps in place in order to do that. And you know, they might be very specific steps. But in order to have the internal drive, the internal motivation, the internal inspiration to go through those steps, to overcome the challenges that are involved in going through those steps, they need to have the knowledge and understanding, the context around why it is important for them to be taking those actions. If they don't understand the background knowledge of why that's important, it's going to be impossible for them to have that internal drive to actually go through these practical steps. And this is what, you know, I've worked a long time in the fitness industry, and this was a big thing that I recognize, is that people just didn't have a deep understanding, a deep knowledge. They didn't have the context of how the body works and how nutrition impacts the body and how exercise impacts the body, the deep understanding of the physiological responses. And because they didn't have that understanding, doing the practical steps it was a lot harder. They didn't have any internal inspiration, or you know, they didn't have the context to be able to really want to actually go out and put these steps into place. So for you, you know, even in your endeavors to create an affiliate marketing business, I recommend you invest your time and energy into really understanding the concepts of affiliate marketing, understanding the advanced strategies. And if you're listening to this video, you're on the right track with that, obviously. But another thing that I'd suggest is you go and check out the free training, either the first link in the description, or you know, if you head up to my group cover photo, click on that and you can sign up to the free training there, because you know, every piece of content that you go through is going to help you increase your knowledge and understanding and provide the context of how things work. And if you're getting into affiliate marketing, the training there is going to help you build up that knowledge, that understanding, the context, so that you're better equipped to go through the practical steps. But in terms of investing your time and energy into information to transfer onto your target audience, then it's still really important for you to have that knowledge and understanding so that you can give that to them, so that you're helping them get closer to be able to follow through these steps and get to the end result. So I think it's really important for you not to just know the practical steps of what they need to do, but understanding the really deep concepts of why it's important, and really understand the background knowledge so that you can pass that on to them. So you have to be willing to invest in learning. You have to be willing to really diving deep into the topic that you're in. The next thing is learning. So you actually have to not just learn, but you have to master the topics that you go and learn. Now, you know, what a lot of people are preaching out there is this concept of reading a book a day, or, you know, trying to read many different books as you possibly can. But what I would suggest is you read the same book 4 times in a row, because the truth is you're not going to get everything you can out of a book just reading it once. So if you want to master a topic, if you want to really deeply understand something, then you need to be really diving deep into it and focusing on the one thing, rather than focusing on trying to learn so many different things at once. Pick a topic, a very niche down topic, and really dive deep into it and learn it, master it. So if you look at this diagram here, so this is relating to like quality of work done versus amount of work done. But if we look at this as, you know, quality of knowledge gained or quality of understanding gained versus amount of topics you're trying to cover, the more topics you try and cover, and the more things you're trying to learn at the same time, the lower the quality of the knowledge and the understanding that you gain. So rather than going out there and trying to learn so many different things at once, I suggest you focus your time on one thing at a time, really dive deep into it so you have the deep understanding, knowledge around that topic, so that when you get to the teach phase, you you're going to come across it as an expert, because you're going to sound like you know what you're talking, because you yourself have this deep knowledge and understanding around that topic. You are going to be able to teach it in a way that is going to make others perceive that you are an expert. Not only that, if you go through that process of listening in learning, if you go through the process of mastering every single topic that you need to master within that area, then there's no way you're going to run out of content ideas, because you can continue to, because you're going to have a deep understanding of it, because you've spent the time, learning a particular topic and you've mastered it. There's no way you cannot find information that you can then pass on to others and teach others. So if you follow through with this process, you're going to have a never-ending you're going to have never-ending content ideas. You're never going to run out of things to create content about, because you've gone through this process. So you have to be doing this. When it comes to teaching, so I've got this picture here on the screen here of the movie Catch Me If You Can. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, but essentially it's about Frank here, who was essentially a fraudster, con artist, and the way that this relates to what I'm teaching you today is that there was a scene in this movie where he was going to school, and this bully pushes him up against the locker and bullies him. And so what Frank does to get back at this bully is he actually, when he goes into the classroom, he pretends to be the teacher and gives it back to the bully and puts him in his place. And then when the substitute teacher who was supposed to be teaching the class rocks up, he's like, "Oh, no, didn't you hear? I'm teaching this class today." And then the substitute teacher ends up getting really pissed off and ends up not coming back to teach for the rest of the term or whatever. And so Frank ends up teaching the class for the entire rest of the term. And obviously he's not an expert. He's not someone who has the knowledge and understanding to be able to teach a class, well, from what most people would think. And then at the end of the movie, when he gets caught, they ask him, how did you do that? How did you teach an entire semester of class, when you don't know anything about this topic? And he said, it was easy. All I had to do was stay one chapter ahead of the class. That's all you need to do. To be perceived as an expert, all you need to do is stay one chapter ahead of the class. Now, if you think about, everybody out there on this journey of achieving the result that you're helping people to achieve, they're all going to be at different stages of knowledge and understanding. They're all going to be at different, levels of expertise or whatever. And everyone below you, you have the opportunity to be perceived as an expert to them. And then if you cater to these people and you go out there and actually start providing these customers with value, you start to develop your skills in providing content. You start to develop your skills in learning new content to provide, and you actually start to build up a very big knowledge base of this topic. The more you go through it, then the more people you're going to start to have below you that don't know as much as you. And if you target your content to the problems of these people, you're going to be perceived as an expert to them. So if you're always thinking about the target audience and their problems and the people that below you that don't know as much as you, you can always be perceived as an expert and someone that they can know, like, and trust, because you're giving them valuable content that is helping them get closer to overcoming their challenges or achieving their goals. So that's basically it. Like, if you implement this strategy, if you implement what I've just taught you, you can be perceived as an expert. You can have never-ending ideas of content. This is all you need to fulfill that and go out there. Now, understand that you might be scared and it might be hard for you. I went through that myself. You might be looking at this presentation and saying, I could never be able to do that. But I started somewhere as well. I'm an introverted person. I'm not an outgoing person. I've always been someone who's been very critical of myself, but I've stopped making it about me, and it's about the people I'm serving. And that helps me to overcome all of the shit that I've got inside of me. So I really hope you've gotten value from this video. And what I want to say at the end here, the more you engage with my content, the more you comment and like and everything like that, the more excited I get about creating this content, the more enthusiastic and I am about creating content, and the more I put into actually creating the content. So if you got anything out of this video, I want you to like it. I want you to comment. I want you to engage with it, because that's going to amp me up, and it's going to make sure that my next content is really, it's going to be inspiring content, because I'm going to put a lot more hard work into it. So you're going to get much more out of this community if you engage in it, because it's going to inspire me to give you better and better content. So please, if you got any value from this, if you had any aha moments, if there's anything, big shifts, I want you to head down and what shifts I've helped you create through this content, or what was your biggest learning that you can take away from this video. And also, the more you engage with it, the more likely other people are going to see this as well. So I'd really appreciate that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon.